Let's begin with a basic explanation. If you can figure out who, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then let's talk about...
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. What kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Chihiro's fate. It appears it was...
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt? I bet it was an iron pipe. No, it's wrong!
Can we agree that the object that dealt the it was covered in blood? And
the wound on the victim's head, as far as I'm concerned,
Yay!
If you don't mind, although I believe...
What?
First, Chihiro's killed the fiendish serial... The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
No, it's wrong! I might...
What?
I found this file. While I guess it's some kind of confidential file.
What? That's kind of weird.
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. More importantly, it outlines all according to the file. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic.
Never made public?
Why don't you tell?
I got it! Apparently, in every genocide, other than the killer, the only people...
However, Chihiro is most So, how did the culprit know about it? There's only one logical answer. It's because the culprit in this case...
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is...
Yes. In fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember?
Is Toko Genocide Jack?
Yet another riddle.
understand? Is it because genocide...
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere, and they thought that the suspect might have...
Oh, okay.
Perfect with Toko's strange behavior after seeing...
I got it! You're talking about how she started...
That's right. Think back.
She was acting funny, that's for sure.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my...
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room,
The reason she locked herself in her, it was to keep her other personality.
what?
Toko was afraid. Afraid?
Yeah.
I do believe you What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave, she told me she said, a murderous fiend lived, and that trepidation is what's caused her to have...
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell it.
What?
You promised.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me. This is the real world. Besides, you said that as long as you were here, but
You said if I kept it, that's the only...
How many times do I have to... But you weren't able to do it.
I tried.
But your efforts were useless. Well, the opening act is nearly finished.
You...
Hello there! Is it me you were hoping to... So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck, Toko?
Not Toko, that's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? Should turn a blind eye to one's fault. Like they say, sound and murderous minds.
This one is so different from the...
Yes, well, the world is just like how every inning has a top and a behind every dark and gloomy.
Miss Jack, Jill,
What's up?
some of us think you might be the master.
Well, I'll tell you. I am the Just kidding.
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government insist. They just let this idiotic blood...
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. Just kidding again.
This should be enough to convince you. There's clearly a
motive?
Remember what Monokuma... If someone didn't murder and graduate with... Well, let's assume that Toko... If a secret like that came to light... So she had a very clear motive.
Interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit. But I cannot imagine anyone. Maybe so, but nevertheless it's...
Do you really expect it?
Yeah, I couldn't... But I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things. Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, that's wrong. Are the methods of murder real? I think there's a slight difference. Huh?
Uh-oh, you don't... Well then, human god... I murder with passion, and I consider myself a professional. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. What happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one. I got it! For one, the cause... In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right? Ah, yes! Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly and there's more?
That's right! In my recipe of then the arrangement of the body would be the
Could you please stop comparing? So, are you saying...
I got it! Do you remember what the they used some kind of rope?
What is your point?
Well, in all the specifically, pairs of...
And guess what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the... And Big Mac said there's two different...
Big Mac?
Listen up, Big Mac!
Huh?
My word, you really didn't... There's a pattern there! Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
I got it! Is it because...
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had...
They were all...
That's right! The people I killed with... I can't believe I said...
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl! And the mopey side, but now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both... I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line!
We get it. You've clearly explained your... It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced...
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly... cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement?
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a...
Maybe you use the...
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors.
Okay, whatever.
Are you sure about... That's right! So I can... Why would I resort to dumbbells or... Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong, you can't... Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on.
But the body really was suspended, right?
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or what.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access. Plus, you'd already looked through the...
Then the reason he pushed the theory because he wanted to.
So, he rearranged the scene. The adorable glasses man was behind it.
Well, Byakuya,
I see. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange. You wanted to go to the girls' locker room.
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room. The victim was Chihiro.
Nothing strange about... On the contrary.
Okay then, go ahead. Share with the...
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room. There was no time for point. What's so strange?
you wish you'd taken me with you?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
If you're presented with the opportunity to check...
That's a natural...
The victim was Chihiro, who was... So of course I would suggest... There was no time. What's so strange?
you wish you'd taken me with you?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before... But he was acting weird...
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out...
That's a natural reaction for any...
The victim was Chihiro.
No, that's wrong! I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the... So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first...
I see. Interesting. Very...
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. We just talked about the difference, the proof you're looking for.
Oh? Proof?
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong! Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that extension... What? Byakuya, you've used the same extension cord that was in the library all this time? Went missing. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine it.
That's really what you think? Then I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker. I intentionally made it look like... Is that about right? What's wrong?
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right?
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he...
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I know, there's something that's still...
Is that right? I killed her in the girls' locker room. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look... What about all that...
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro, but are you sure about that?
What kind of question is that? Even if she was found dead in the girls' locker room, how could the scene of the crime...
Well, I think it... Along with the rest of...
The rest? That was awfully specific.
I believe I...
Hey! Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place...
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is... the poster that's hanging in... Your proof? The poster in the girl... A picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But why would the girls...
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys... A poster of the super-popular boy band tour... Again, that doesn't...
So you're saying that...
And there's one other thing I noticed. You know what I'm talking about.
You're referring to my protein. While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, but I noticed that after the murder...
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact,
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, why would anyone do that?
to move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was...
I can certainly follow your...
Huh?
Why would they go through all that actually? An even bigger question, then how did Chihiro... To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your free handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook, she had no way to get in.
No, she did have a way!
I highly...
Shut up! I'm telling you!
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys'...
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook.
No, it's wrong! No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon...
Oh.
I am struck silent by a...
Plus, isn't there a regulation?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow... Of course, if it were
So then, she must have...
You can't fix it.
So, if she didn't use Leon...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's...
It seems like there's no way she could...
Okay then, I've...
Hold on, I agree with you though.
What the... You finally... There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right?
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in?
What?
What are you talking about?
Well, why don't we take a little break from the...
Wait.
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting.
Huh? Well, all right then. Now then, what is it you...
Oh, I have no doubt it'll...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this...
I'd like you to examine the victim. Be sure to examine the...
Examine her.
It's probably... It's not that I'm creeped out.
very well.
But you're a girl.
No, it's okay. So just...
What is this? Some kind of secret girl on girl?
That's not it at all.
Okay, I'm sorry, Chihiro.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? What? This is... What is this?
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible. This girl is
what?
Is a boy!
Ah, I see. So, she was...
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about...
Really?
Chihiro was...
Oh, what, you guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was...
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I would...
So that's what Kyoko... Now let's ride this wave of... Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. We've all just learned of the shocking...
Yes, well... And because the victim was male, he...
Assuming his handbook did, in fact...
Of course his handbook said he was...
So then, there should be no... The victim was killed in the boys' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So, Chihiro really?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but... Yes, that...
Well, I knew he felt a little... off.
This is the most titillating...
So now everything has been connected.
Okay, well, connected or clear.
What about you, Makoto?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one, but... I think he might not actually... What? But he just seems to be too... The way he's acting...
And you think that might be because it doesn't have...
Plus, the evidence he left behind was he consciously chose to use the extension, at least. And Byakuya, when you found... And then again, when you found out Chihiro was... If you really were the killer, that's...
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it's fine. I guess I'll...
Mark it...
He's right. I just happened to come across the corpse and...
Are you fucking with us?
No, I am not effing with you right now.
Well, I find it...
Go ahead. Find it very hard.
If you're really telling the truth, then... What?
My reasons hardly matter now then. If it...
Well,
You're seriously gonna keep going?
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's... Because if we're wrong...
That's true. There...
Damn straight.
Do you not have a mind of your...
Of course I do.
anyway, let's discuss this all...
That's very...
Our lives are all...
Excellent. Then
I got it!
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but... Did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Shoot!
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Shoot!
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us?
Well, clues. Did nobody get a...
I'm sure if someone saw the kill, perhaps someone saw the victim at some point.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of...
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn, then game over, man!
Yeah! No! Not game over!
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to...
Well, clues are... Did nobody get a... I'm sure someone saw the killer.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point.
Yeah. All we need right now is any...
It's over! You want to know who saw the the killer! And
No, it's wrong. I believe someone else did.
Now that you mention... Oh, but I suppose the rest of you had no idea.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night. Right. I saw him and then I assumed...
Track jacket and double bag.
It seems likely that the...
And that is when he... Chihiro told me, but why would he be...
So, Mr. Fujisaki...
But Hina and I had invited him to...
probably because he was afraid you'd find...
Which means that conversely, he must have enough so that he...
The point is, whoever he met up with is the...
But knowing what we know...
No. You already have what...
Huh?
You know who the...
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and focus on the details of these items.
Are you sure? You really think we can figure out...
What? You want to track...
Even if we had the equipment for that.
As was noted, the evidence is already...
Maybe, but we can make certain...
Easy for you to... But fine. The bag was... All the bags in there are the same.
Well, if I remember right, there was a... Do you think there might be...
Perhaps.
Let's First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific track?
What do you mean, the specific...
I got it! He picked that It matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit, personally. I got it from the warehouse.
Did any of that really help us get any closer?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him. First of all, we know where he was on his way to go. So next week, why did he choose the...
What do you mean, the specific...
I got it! It matched the one the culprit...
So, what, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Shoot!
First of all, he was on his way. So next week, why did he choose...
What do you mean, the...
I got it! It matched the one...
So, the killer was wearing the same... My tracksuit is black.
I don't... Cause exercising...
I have a white track. I got it from the...
Did any of that really help us?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he...
First of all, we know that he was on his way to... So next we have... Why did he choose the...
What do you mean, the specific...
I got it! It matched the one...
So, what, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Shoot!
First of all, we know which he was on his way. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific...
What do you mean, the specific...
I got it! He picked that... It matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have... Cause exercising...
I have a white track.
I got it from the...
A warehouse.
Did any of that really help us?
No way. Not a chance.
First of all, he was on his way, so next week, why did he choose?
What do you mean? I got it! It matched the one.
So, what you're saying? The killer was wearing the same
No, that's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo.
Huh?
When Celeste testified, she never said. So why did you?
What are you? Hey, Celeste. What color?
As a matter of fact,
And before we began,
the only one I told.
Then
But because
I'm sure he saw the clothes and
No, that can't. The bag and clothes were surely.
Then the only reason he could have known what is if he saw Cherry with it before he died!
Cherry.
So, how about it? Did you see?
just by chance, he walked past me.
no, that can't be. When Celeste noticed it, if you just ran into him briefly,
It would appear you dug your.
Perhaps. If you handed him the shut focus on the tracksuit, and it'll be obvious who he met.
Ah, now I understand. Your true intention was that's why you said you knew who did it.
That's right. Mondo was my target all along.
but why?
That's a good question. There was a certain turning point. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo. You only call guys dude. And after he was killed, once I picked up on that, it occurred.
Are you a witch? She's a witch!
No, not nearly as frightful as.
Mondo, did you really?
I didn't kill anyone. You've been all over me. Just what gives you the right to treat me?
Yeah! He would never do something.
It's true. My reason.
That was.
Well, this does present.
That's what my little ghost.
Oh yeah, that reminds me.
Really? Actually, no.
Jeez, does your confidence just...
It happens to be an
Shoot! I refuse to give up yet! Hold on a second, Mondo. I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was
for a fact. For a fact in...
Then it must hold some clue of.
Well, that's what I was hoping.
I imagine the culprit broke.
That's odd. I didn't.
You're right. They're totally waterproof.
And yet, this for all your confidence. That is a.
How?
I got it! You already told us before that the
You, sure. Maybe I let that...
but if the handbook is supposed to never.
Then we can only you know what the weakness is, right, Monica? I think it's a necessary piece of it.
But if I tell you...
Just tell us already.
Oh, well. I have a weakness for... Then allow me to make it... When it's exposed to high temperatures for... I flippin' knew...
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook. The temperature in the sauna can reach... It's because as your sweat evaporates, if the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, that layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you...
Interesting.
That is a mere...
Anyway, If you found, then the killer must have been purposely trying.
Meaning the culprit
But how'd they find out?
Indeed.
What if they found out?
What do you mean?
What if the killer took their own handbook? They'd realize it was broken, and once they had Chihiro's handbook.
I won't say it's not possible. I don't know of any.
I might know someone who. Whoa! I think the one who may have taken. Here's my answer. Mondo. You're...
What?
Mondo and Taka had... And for the contest, Mondo just... But little did he realize... And when it was all over, Mondo...
No! Wait! I don't accept this!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto...
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
No, that's wrong! Mondo, the handbook you have...
The fuck is that supposed...
The broken handbook that isn't that one...
What the heck are you talking...
What I mean is, I think he took Leon's hand after all. Monaco...
That's right!
So then, which would mean that the... But doesn't that violate the school reg...
Well, there is a rule about loaning. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no, as such, I decree...
Well, Mondo, I'm happy to admit I made a mistake.
Son, what's wrong, bro? You are wrong! Everything you do...
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time? That way... killer is you! First, let's take a look. Last night, Celeste, at the time, she was apparent. That something was a blue trap. With bag in hand, she made her way to the locker room. But how could the victim... Simple. Which is why he was... Once inside, he met with some... It seems likely that the killer... and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but... Which is why then removing the blood... And finally carrying a girl's handbook was... But this alone doesn't prove... After all, Saya could using one of those... And that's exactly what the carpet and the poster they changed the layout of the boy. That could have been the end of Yakuya discovered the body. So, after he went and grabbed the extension, he used the cord to... Then, using he wanted to create the illusion that genocide... And around the same time that Byaku the killer, having all there, they planned... Here's exactly what happened. And just as the killer somehow, and the reason they knew that, and that's how it all... Isn't that right?
Wait! Here's your evidence. You need evidence without any proof? Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! Show me some evidence!
This should prove it! If my thinking so, Mondo must have replaced. In which case, once we do that...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah, I did it. I got no choice, man. Go ahead, Monokuma. Ask for the god.
Roger that!
Wait!
No no waiting. No time for the moment we've all been. Who will you elect as the? Will you make the right choice? What's it gonna be? What? Unbelievable.
Sorry.
What is this?
Now then. Actually... Ha!
Wait.
Hey, What?
I'm sorry. But... That's right. I want to change.
Hey,
Yeah, that's...
Uh-huh.
Correct. Indeed. Certainly.
But...
Because... I knew it.
What is this? You're wrong!
Don't make me repeat.
Hey,
Don't fuck with me.
I'm so... Huh? But I want to change...
You piece of... What?
Huh?
What?
No! What's...
Damn you!
I...
Yeah, that's right. You son of a bitch! I killed even after all this time. And thanks to that...
Yep.
It can't be.
Well now. Now then, I prepared a vamp! Let's give it everything we've got!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made.
What is this?
Naturally.
Hey. However...
What?
Honestly. There is nothing to be done.
Well...
That's right.
I see.
But...
Interesting.
Correct. Indeed. Hey,
What's this?
You. What?
Damn. What the heck?
Damn it! Ooh.
That's enough. In the name of my family.
You're getting all riled up!
Well, anyway, like this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really... Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, fear and despair char... But I must admit, I went to all the pain and effort of making you part... You do remember you were supposed to... Well, no big, nothing we can do about it now. So just after all, that... As long as you don't want to know... Oh, my. I know I said you could act super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied, and nobody be dumb enough to reveal that, right?